Okay, this is a follow-up video to the last one I did, and it's kind of as well a follow-up to this Boston tragedy, needless tragedy. In the past video, I call Islam savage. Say if you're a follower of Islam, you're savage. At least if you're following it like the Quran says to do it, you're savage. A lot of them will not follow it like it says, and then they go out and say the religion's not savage. Because, I'm not savage, so the religion must not be. Well, no, you're just not following what the book says. Like the terrorists, the terrorists follow it that way. And why is it so hard for people to believe that not everything is a conspiracy? I'm tired of seeing every time there's a bombing done by a Muslim, they say, oh, it could never be a Muslim. It could never be anybody but the government. The government must have orchestrated it. 9/11, government did it. Boston bombing did it. Fort Hood did it. What's the Michigan one? When they caught him with the underwear bomber, they did it. Government did everything. Government did all. Well, sure, could the government have had advanced knowledge of 9/11 and the Bush administration and Clinton just passed it off, for some kind of crazy security agenda? Yeah, foreign policy-wise, the government's done worse. Could they, they probably didn't orchestrate it. Could they have pushed it off? But in reality, the Muslims did it. It's obvious they were the ones flying the planes into the building. So even if the government somehow did knock the towers down with bombs, which no, they didn't, probably not, but the Muslims were the front group, and they went for it. They enjoy playing the role of patsy, even if they're not the ones doing the actual attacks. And it should not be hard for people to believe that the Quran inspires people to do these acts. That book is evil. I ordered it, and I've never been big into kissing Islamic ass, but they say, read the Quran, read what's in it. And then you open it, you just have to go online. People claim that there are passages from it, and they say, these passages say, do this bizarre act. And I open it up, and I see, well, yeah, it's there in English. And then, it says, yeah, Muhammad, 9-year-old Aisha, pedophile, so I just throw it in the trash. I wanted to, do a Quran burning, but I'm not really big into, that book burning stuff. It's just like, there's no need to burn the book. It's there. Let somebody else see how crazy it is. Burning it doesn't do any good. It just makes them Muslims go nuts, which is fun to watch, but you're really endangering people's lives. So it should not be hard for people to believe that this book is causing these attacks. They're not all conspiracies. They're probably the majority of them, 90%, the U.S. government has no involvement with. Now, is it true that they're using these attacks to take our liberties? Yes. That much is obvious, and in more ways than we can imagine, they have control and surveillance over our lives. There's cameras everywhere. You can't get away from them. Drones in the sky, already admitted, as I've covered in other videos. But yeah, the Muslims are doing it. They're the ones doing the terror. So stop saying it's a conspiracy. Anybody who reads that book and believes in it is probably going to want to strap a bomb to their chest. Islam spread by war. Historically, I read a 1,000-page book on the Ottoman Empire. Now this is just, one of many books, or one of many empires. The Ottomans were probably the best, biggest Muslim empire of all time. The original caliphates were, okay, they were alright, they fought the Christians, but the Ottomans, the Europeans, feared them for a long time. The book's called The Ottoman Centuries. And, well, what propelled them? Islam basically did this thing. They have this tax, and what they do, it's a tax on non-Muslims. And I've even seen people saying in modern days, if they refuse to pay the Muslim tax, then kill them. Muslims are saying that. And the Ottomans enforced this. What they did is they would go into the Balkans, and they would say, this is why the Balkans, they hate the Turks, and why you have all this Muslim conflict. Because the Ottomans went in and they said, you're going to convert to Islam or we're going to tax you. And a lot of people did. They said, well, we're not going to pay this stupid Muslim tax. We'll just fake being Muslims and get away with the stupid taxation. That's what religion all comes down to anyway, just an excuse to tax somebody and get control over them. so they can fund the expansion of the empire, so that the lords and ladies and sultans can live in, lavish lifestyles. Just read about all the women those Ottoman sultans had, and they converted them, or some of them, but there was one sultan, I remember it was like his, there's so many sultans, I can't remember all of them, but one of them, someone in his harem was more or less playing from behind the scenes, so they basically had a female sultan, because the lady in the harem was saying, I'm just going to kind of manage things. So, Islam spreads by violence, especially with the Ottomans, the caliphates. The violence is in there, in the book, and people have got to stop kissing ass to Islam and trying to make it out like it's some kind of peaceful religion, and the Western neocons are just demonizing it. No, the neocons might be tyrannical for wanting to go in and invade Iraq and Iran, but is Islam a threat? Hell yeah, it is. You better believe it. And any person who wants to, do good must go out and dispel Islamic myths. If you're really interested in progress, no Islam. None at all. Get rid of it. And of course, this applies to all religion, but to Islam especially, just because that's the it's a really popular one. They used to say fastest growing. I don't know if that's still true, and that maybe at some point they would even eclipse the Catholic Church if they haven't already done that already. Islam as the world's leading religion is very scary. Very. I don't want somebody to come and bomb me because I won't worship a pedophile. Yes, he was a pedophile. It's another... I'm just ranting at this point. I like to do kind of rants on these videos. But no, Islam is not innocent. It's not innocent. It shouldn't be demonized, but it's not innocent. And yes, Muslims can do these attacks. It's not always the government. Not everything's a conspiracy. Sorry, Alex Jones. I know it makes you more money to say it's a conspiracy, but Alex Jones, every time there's a conspiracy, he gets hype. But no, not everything is a conspiracy. Some things are legit. It's not always the NWO or corporate banksters trying to deprive us all of our wealth. Thanks for watching.